is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Jeremy Lee in the building and every guest that you ever needed. Sports cards after hours keep the hobby heated. Updates, hobby talk like you never seen it. Sports cards live and none could ever beat it. Sports cards is a lifestyle. Sports cards and we live now. Welcome to another episode of Sports Cards Live with your host, Jeremy Lee.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Fanatics Hockey Auction Weekly Ending Watch Party. My name is Jeremy Lee. It is September the 29th, 2024. And there are some amazing cards going off tonight on the platform. Let's bring out Josh Madigan of the Hockey Cards Gongshow. Josh, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Jeremy. Happy Sunday. I am very much looking forward to a number of these cards tonight. There's some bangers.
There are some intense bangers tonight. I'm excited. I'm excited for these cards. And on both ends of the modern and vintage spectrum, we've got a Frank Clancy, a King Clancy, 23 Patterson rookie going off tonight. Let's just get into this because we got a lot of cards to get through. And I want to make sure that we get to them all, before they start to end, which is going to happen in about an hour's time from now. Extended bidding is 28 minutes away. We have the 30-minute initial window. If there are no bids placed during that initial 30 minutes, then the cards that had not received a bid in that 30-minute window, which is at the end of 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, well, those cards will end. And as a reminder, if you are out there, if you are bidding on any cards tonight, please do use the Sports Cards Live affiliate code. It is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. Greatly appreciate that. Anybody watching on Instagram, please feel free to come over to YouTube for the much better viewing experience. But thank you for popping in nonetheless over there on the gram. Quick hellos. Let's start off. Jake Dahl, what's going on, Jake? Happy Auction Hockey Sunday to you. More hockey cards, please. What's going on? Tonight's the night for more hockey cards, please, because it is only hockey cards. So I don't think we could do any more. Well, we could, but we'll do what we do. Todd McDonald, what's going on? Laura, good to see you again. Thanks for dropping in yet another night in a row. Josh, here's the auction. 182 cards tonight, 182 hockey cards going off tonight on Fanatics. We have 46 of those that have been favorited by both the Gong Show and myself. Quick hello to Perch. What's going on, Perch? Welcome back. And what does Jake say here? When I save an item by clicking the heart icon on Fanatics Weekly Auction, where can I view them all? Also, if I save items for the weekly ending next week, how can I view? My favorites right here. Just look right here, Jake, what we do. I click those hearts, and then when I click on my favorites, and I also click on the auction for tonight. Now, if I were to switch auctions, we would see next week's favorites, but we are on this auction alone. And again, my favorites on the left-hand side. That is where you go to see the cards that you have selected as your favorites. Josh, we're going to jump in. We're going to jump in with the Steve Yzerman rookie card. And this is the 1984 O-Pee-Chee. And this is a PSA 9. And we've looked at these several times by now together. Now, this is a 9. It's a new sort of grade in the serial numbers to start with a 6 by PSA. So in the last year, I think maybe a year and a quarter, something like that. But let's take a look at this card right here and see how it looks up close. And centering, Josh, centering looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's very, very close. Card looks nice to me. I don't see much wrong with it. There is a registration issue, you guys. If you look closely here, you can see that it's really fine, but there's this thin hairline, white line coming right through down here. Shouldn't be there. You got the pink coming over the black over there, and the same thing going on with this red stripe over here. You see the white over here between the black and the pink, and a little bit of yellow coming through between the jersey and the red background. I just noticed now a little fisheye right there above the C for center. Maybe I think there's some scratches on the slab. There's definitely scratches on the slab, and I'm not sure if that's a print defect right there as well. But when you zoom back out, you don't notice those things quite as much. And this is, I'd say it's an average 9 Josh, you have any thoughts on the Yzerman?
I just have an overall thought, and I think what we've definitely learned in the year or so. How long have we been doing the show? A while now.
Actually, this is either episode 61 or 62, so it's well over a year by now.
Okay, well over a year. That this is a card you cannot just buy based on the label and the grade. That we've seen some horrendous 10s, we've seen some beautiful 9s. So when you see a 9, and don't just disregard it as not being as good as a PSA 10, you really got to do the kind of analysis that you just went through.
Agreed. Exactly. So this, to me, now I'm not saying, and I don't think you are either, that this is a, that this is a PSA 10 in a 9's disguise or anything like that. No, I think this is a 9 all day long, in my opinion. I don't necessarily think it's a super strong 9, but I don't think it's weak. I think it's right there in the middle of the 9s because the centering is very strong. This is easily 10 centering. It's not centering that causes this not to be a 10. So it's a nice card. But this is one that we do not see very often. This is the King Clancy 1923 V145-1 Patterson card. And this is a special card, you guys. This is a key pre-war Hall of Fame rookie card. The Clancy Trophy is a trophy that is handed out every year to this day. It's a 5, very strong for the grade. I own a copy in a 3, and this is a lot nicer than my 3. My 3 has much more rounded corners. This is a really nice copy, and this is again, I can't overstate how important I believe this card is to a Hall of Fame hockey vintage collection. It's spectacular, and it's one of 4 sort of key cards from this Patterson set, along with the Jack Adams, the Oral Joliot, and the Howie Morenz. These are 4 really important cards, and this is a key piece of that quartet, and it's a strong 5. I love it. It's just such a great card. The back is completely blank. There's nothing on the back of these cards. Super important. Population 7 in a PSA 5 with 5 higher. So this is one of the 12 finest copies on the planet. And I say that understanding that, well, there could be some in a Beckett slab or an SGC slab. But all that said, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this might be, because I don't know the populations by those grading companies. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is, yes, probably one of the top 12 finest copies out there, and I think it's strong for a 5 as well. Josh, did you have a chance to look at this card, think about it? What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, we profiled it on our show, and I agree. It's a very special card. It's a very rare card if you're into pre-war vintage. And I think King Clancy is a guy who, if you're interested in hockey history, is definitely worth looking up. So I just got to read this one quote that we had found. It was from a broadcaster and historian, Brian McFarland. So King Clancy was a defenseman. He was very small, but he's kind of feisty. So with that context, you got to listen to this. Although he was one of the smallest defensemen of his era, he was tough and fast and would not back down. It was said that King Clancy started 1,000 fights and never won one.
Nice. Yeah. His reputation precedes him, and he's a Hall of Famer, and he's a pioneer of the sport as well. So again, cannot overstate the importance of the player, the card, the player to the history of the game, and the card to, a really well curated vintage collection. They don't come up very often, guys, and this is one of the finest ones out there. This is an important. I know I keep on saying it, but even I might not realize the gravity of this card being offered tonight on the Fanatics platform. So give it attention, everybody. If it's something you're looking for, this might be your chance to get it. We have a 1951 Parkhurst Howie Meeker rookie, PSA 8, strong copy. Always PSA 8 Parkhurst are very tough to find. And let's take a look. Centering is obviously, it's off to the right, but those corners and edges look nice. You'll hear me say, and you've heard me say quite a few times, that the red text along the bottom can fade. It is fading in this copy. You can see it's not quite as bright and bold as we've seen in some other 51 Parkhurst cards. This might be a print defect right there. I don't recall seeing that before. But that said, this is still a tough card. It's a very old slab. It's a very old graded card, but nonetheless, just a great card. And Howie Meeker is a legend as a broadcaster and a color commentator of hockey. So an interesting card. Josh, your thoughts on the Meeker?
Yeah, just like you said, it's really hard to ever come across a PSA 8 51 Parkey. And if you're a set collector, if you're a vintage collector, a Leafs fan, and this would be one to look at, I think.
Definitely a great card. $600 right now. So I don't know comps on it, but that seems quite reasonable to me at this point in time for a PSA 8 of the Meeker. Continuing on, one of my favorite cards is the second year Terry Sawchuk 52 Parkhurst. This is a PSA 7. First thing that we are going to notice about it is the centering. It is obviously centered low on the cardboard canvas. I do prefer it that way than if it was off to the right or off to the left. And what I love about this card is that, it's, if you look at his rookie card, there's really nothing in the background. I love that you have not only like the mesh net behind the goal to protect the fans, but you've got fans in the stands. You've got the ice. I love the way the artistic version of the ice here, the boards behind the net, and just all the color. Most 52 Parkhurst is a really interesting set. Some cards have like in-game backgrounds, natural game backgrounds, and some are just weird, colorful backgrounds that don't have anything to do with the game of hockey. I don't know why they decided on some to leave the image there and some not. In any event, this is kind of the preference for me. You've got a full image of him in net with the natural background. And look at these edges, these corners are very strong. I can't see much wrong, if anything, with the surface. It grades out a 7. I'm guessing that the centering is the main culprit of that, grade not being higher, because this is a beautiful card. Again, I love the card. I personally own a copy of this, and I like it more than his rookie card, which is sort of, might not be the right thing to say, but I do. I prefer this to his rookie personally. Josh, what about you?
Oh, it's a beautiful card. It always strikes me the differentiation between 51 Parkhurst and 52. It seems like they're a decade apart, not 1 year, almost, in sort of design and depth of color and intricacy of the artwork involved.
Agreed. And well said. Well said. Michael Hathaway, who I refer to as the crystal ball, says, in my opinion, very similar dynamic to 52, 53 Topps baseball. 51 Parkhurst is so important historically, but the follow-up is so much more fun to collect aesthetically. I'm also a big fan of the second year Gordie Howe from the same set as well. Gary Keith, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Jay Peterman, what is happening? Welcome to the show tonight. All right, let's keep on rolling. We have a PSA 3 Phil Esposito Topps rookie. And, oftentimes we don't give much attention to these lower grade cards, but the fact of the matter is that they are affordable to so many more people. Currently at only $180. That's affordable to many. Now it's a 3, but look at, it's not a bad 3. The centering is off, but we've seen 7s that are like this. Even the Howie Meeker in the 8 has no better centering than this does, but this has other issues. Those corners do have some gloss loss on the top there. You got a fisheye right here, but that's not going to hurt the grade too terribly much. You've got rounded corners on the bottom, maybe some light creasing in the corners as well, but it's tough to say. In any event, this to me, it's a strong 3. Did it get eye appeal? No eye appeal awards from Fanatics Collect or PWC, or PWCC back in the old days, I guess, still applies. It's a nice 3. It's actually a pretty nice 3 here, Josh, and it's $180. That's about $216 out the door right now. What do you think of that? What do you think of this for the price and as a 3, Josh?
Oh, I think it's actually a very nice card and a really nice representation of Esposito's rookie. And just in general, if you take any amount of time, if you're not familiar with his body of work, he,
Yeah.
is very underappreciated in the hobby to begin with. And then here you have a very, very nice card for the grade. And so it all kind of adds up to probably somebody getting a lot of value tonight who buys this card.
Yeah, it's a good collector type of card, and I don't if you need a Phil Esposito rookie and you are not playing in the depths of the PSA 5, 6, 7s, and 8s, well, here you go. Great opportunity. And it does look like a really nice 3 overall. And as Josh said, Phil Esposito is an all-time great. He may not be on the Mount Rushmore of hockey players, but as you think he's a top 20 all-time player. I think he's definitely going to fit into that band. Yeah.
I just have a quick question for you too. Do you think it's just like us, or that more and more collectors now too are starting to gravitate to and really appreciate really nice lower grade copies of cards?
I think it's a bit of a movement, Josh. I mean, I'm certainly right into it. I think there is something going on there. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a movement away from now. You can hear me hesitate here because we still see people pay through the nose for super high grades. But I think that more and more people are realizing that I can save a ton of money and still get a really nice card in a lower grade. It's like you can almost upgrade by downgrading. You can get a nicer 5 than a 6. There are nicer 5s out there than 6s, even though the technical grade differs. And there's a couple of reasons why the technical grade can differ. One reason is because there's something that you just don't necessarily notice, but the grader did. And the other reason is the inconsistency of grading. So you have to shop, you have to look don't just look at those grades, look at the cards as well.
Well, it feels like a big win. Like I am thinking about you and your Babe Ruth, how, and I'm sure that a huge part of that is you feel like you got an amazing card for a PSA 1 versus if you had bought like a PSA 6 and you just had the money to do it, right? It just feels like that you're, like I said, that you're getting a little bit bigger win when you find that very, very nice low grade. It's like you're kind of something that the system doesn't, or something like that.
Yes. And I also feel that like, so I bought my PSA 1 Babe Ruth, and maybe I could have bought a PSA 6 Babe Ruth, and the cards could have looked very similar because my one looks really, really good. It's probably the best one on the planet. It's a possibility. That said, I would love my one more than I would love the 6 because I feel like I got it at such good value. So yeah, there's definitely something to all that. We have a 1969 Gordie Howe Mr. Hockey. This is numbered 193, and it does note here Mr. Hockey with the number. There are some copies of this card that don't have the number, and so you have 2 variations of it. I personally prefer the one with the number, and this is a PSA 8. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely beautiful. It's not perfect, of course. There's some slight clockwise tilt going on, but it's minor. You really have to look closely to see it. Great looking card right there if you are working on a Gordie Howe run. Let's keep on going here. We got, what do we have, 7 Gretzkys tonight? Yeah, 7 Gretzkys, but we'll start off with a PSA 4 Bobby Hull. Mike Bossy. Similar story here to the Phil Esposito, except this is really nice for a 4. The 3 Esposito was nice for a 3. Look at this Mike Bossy PSA 4, you guys. I mean, I've seen uglier 8s. I'm not just saying that. That's fact. This is going to be a good value, and it's a very recently graded card. So if you, like me, believe that PSA is really adhering more to the standards now than they have in the past, this is a tough grade. Now, it has an issue on the left edge here, which you might be able to see right in there. And that might just be like, it almost looks like a fingernail kind of scratched it a little bit, but it's okay. To me, that's not bad. That's the only thing I see wrong with this. The centering is actually really strong for the card. Great.
We found an issue on this one, Jeremy, if you want to go back into it real quick. So look at his jersey below the logo. There's like some, I think that.
Oh, is that wax? Maybe.
I don't know, but that's not typically on a Bossy card. So when we looked at it, that's kind of what we thought could be part of the issue.
Keep your eye on that then. That's a great point. I'm glad you pointed that out because I did not notice that at first. Now I see it and it's glaringly obvious. So and again, like Josh says all the time, it's a game of trade-offs. Here you're going to get centering, you're going to get color, you're getting corners and edges, edges minus that one little piece right there. And what you're not getting is a perfect surface right here. But it's not like it's the whole surface, Josh. It's really relegated to right under the gloves and maybe a little bit over here. Overall, a great copy. I think that's a great $21 right now. So hard to go wrong. Okay, we are going to try and get through these 7 Gretzkys as fast as we can. Tops, O-Pee-Chee. O-Pee-Chee. Let's look at the O-Pee-Chees first. We have a PSA 3, a PSA 6, and a BGS 5. So let's just close up some of these other windows here. And we'll start with the PSA 3 right away. This is a beautiful 3. This is a beautiful 3, you guys. What's wrong with it?
Wow.
Like it's not perfectly centered. The registration is extremely strong. And am I missing something obvious? The corners are great. The edges are like the perfect rough cut. I see what might be a little crease right here. I'm seeing something right there. And a crease is going to bring the grade point down quite a bit. So if there's a crease coming in, that's going to be the reason. There might be some creasing down here as well, you guys. But, you hold that card at arm's length you hold it out from your... You hold it like this, you hold it like this. It's hard to see those creases sometimes. I think this is a phenomenal 3, absolutely phenomenal 3, sitting at 800. Where do we go? Sitting at 775 right now. 800 is the BGS 5. So we'll come to that in a moment. Let's keep rolling through. We have the PSA 6 currently sitting at $2,600. Obviously, it's off-center to the left. It's got registration issues. I almost like the 3 better, Josh, believe it or not. If I'm right on this 3 that creases are the problem, this card, it's nice as well, but you do have the centering and you've got the registration issue. Just you can see the oil drop is, it's offset to the right quite a bit. You've got the glow, the orange glow coming off the bottom of his pants there. What's nice, though, is that there's no gaps between the black and the blue. Let's see the 3 as well. No gaps between the black and the blue. How about the BGS 5? It's got some slight gaps, and it seems to be much more dull in color as well, but a little bit of white showing through right there. This is the BGS 5. Now, a real rough cut on the left-hand side and off-centered to the left quite a bit as well. Not quite... worsely off-centered than this PSA 6, but this one doesn't have, look at that oil drop. The oil drop is basic. It's not perfect, but it's really nice. The yellow plate is off to the right. And now I'm noticing, Josh, did you see this? There's something going on right here. That's either like someone, they sneezed and a piece of cracker came flying onto the card. Or that is simply some print defect. And I'm not sure what that is, but that's pretty rough right there. I wouldn't want that on my card. So I think I like the 3 the best for the grade. The 6 is good, but it's got, like I said, it's got the centering, it's got the registration issues. It does have some white showing on pretty much all 4 corners. And the bottom right corner is really has maybe some ding going on as well. Not ding, but you can see that little separation in color there. Hard to say exactly what that is. So, and it's a recent grade. This could have easily been a 7, just a few months ago or a year ago sort of thing. And back to the 5 again. If you don't mind that centering, and no, listen, it has the rough cut on the left-hand side, which we accept in the hobby. But if you don't like that, then this might not be the copy for you. And also, Josh, I want to get your thoughts on all 3 of these. Just the color. It seems to be a little duller than both that one and that one. And I don't know if that's because the Beckett slab is harder to scan through. What are your thoughts on these 3 before we hit up the tops cards, Josh?
Oh, it's really easy. I'll take the 3 100 times out of 100. Even with a couple small creases, they don't bother me because it has the highest eye appeal in relation to the grade of any of the cards.
It's
The other two.
it's so crazy to me how I'm so much more tolerant of creases now than I was a few years ago. It's like I love that I've evolved that way as a collector.
Mhm.
Is that it for you on those three? Did you have
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
else?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just very simple. It's like I'm
yeah.
very focused on that PSA 3.
This is a great copy. It's a great copy. The six is nice, but I think it's a six, and that's what you're buying. It's not a grade six. Do we have eye appeal on any of these? We do not, which I'm glad to see. And then the BGS 5 as well. As Anony says, too rough on the left side, and it's too rough for Anony, but a lot of people don't mind that. I want uniform, symmetrical rough cut. So this one would not be the copy for me, not the copy for Anony, but some people don't mind. Jake Dahl, you're winning a Gretzky. You want to share us which one you are winning? Is it a rookie? Is it a something else? There's some great Gretzkys in the auction tonight. Okay.
Well, one more quick comment on those. Sorry, Jeremy, is that just to point out, because it's on the pricing, it's the PSA 3 right now is about 3.5 times less than the PSA 6 of the O-Pee-Chees. And it's like, I would enjoy the 3 more.
Right. That's what I was saying before, Josh. I like my PSA 1 Ruth better than I would like it if it was the same card in a 6 holder.
Mhm.
I just like that more. I think we're saying kind of the same thing there. All right. Thanks for that. On to the tops cards. We have an SGC5, a BGS 6, a 6.5, and a 7.5. So a nice variation of grades. Right away, I see this one. I'm like, wow, this is very OC, very off-centered. If this was in a PSA slab, it would have received the OC qualifier if it was slabbed at the time that they were giving those out. This is what it is. I mean, the edges, the corners are great. The registration's pretty much bang on, although the word Oilers does seem to be resting on a lower plane than the word Edmonton does. So that I'm not a fan of, but the oil drop looks pretty nice. It's a decent copy if you don't mind a card that is off-centered in both directions. We have the BGS 6 now. Better centering, still off to the right. I actually think I like this one better, Josh, because when we zoom in on this BGS 6, you're going to notice that the corners are showing like that. That's cardstock showing through right there. The print quality isn't as deep as the SGC5 over here. Like this blue is nice and deep. Note there are fish eyes, but that's typical. And then you come down. These bottom corners they're not great. I would go. This is a weak 6 in my opinion, and the blue looks cloudy. I just see this too right here. This is like a little ding on the edge there. Not a fan of this copy at all. I'm gonna just put it right there. This is not a copy that I would recommend for a buyer. We have this 6.5 now, BGS 6.5, obviously off-centered to the right. It's weird, Josh. Tops copies generally are so much better centered than O-Pee-Chees, and here we're seeing 3 in a row off-centered tops cards, but they do exist. So again, we go from the 6 now here to the 6.5, and this one, the bottom corners look good. The top corners, a touch of stock showing there, more there, a bit of a ding over there. We scroll down. Oil drop is pretty good. Centering overall, severely to the right. Better than the 6, I would say. But, not my favorite copy out there. And then the 7.5. Now here's a nice card. Okay. I'm glad I can say something nice about one of these tops cards. And this is the one. The centering is phenomenal. Let me repeat that, guys. The centering is phenomenal on this copy. We scroll in. The top edge is great, not perfect, but very nice. The corners are wonderful. The left and the right edges are both wonderful. The bottom edge, wonderful. Bottom corners, the bottom left corner, I'm seeing a little bit of stock. It's just like a pinhead type of flaw there. But the bottom right corner, there is more of a ding going on there. But when you zoom out, this is a beautiful copy. If those corners were a little bit better, I don't see how this isn't an 8. really nice copy right here, Josh. What are your thoughts on the 4 tops cards that we just saw?
I agree with you. I think, in the case of the O-Pee-Chee, I think the best card was the lowest graded. In the case of the tops, I think the best card is the highest graded. And here's what I've learned primarily from you overall about the Wayne Gretzky rookie. There are so many copies that you have the luxury before you go to buy one to do your homework and really plot out what you want as far as in your budget, what type of grade, and what those trade-offs that we talk about, the specific card you're looking for, and be patient so that when you see it at an auction, okay, this meets the criteria that I want in a Gretzky rookie for my collection. I'm going to go and get the card.
Yeah. That's the beauty. I mean, we have 7 options tonight alone, and the BGS 7.5 here at 1175, I think, is a great opportunity. That's a very nice card. Perch agrees that Gretzky is very clean. Yeah, definitely agree. Jake Dahl's going for the 1983 Art Ross Trophy PSA 8. Good luck on the purchase, Jake Dahl. All right, let's keep on going, Josh. We got more cards to get through. We have a PSA 6 Raymond Bourque. Again, we're talking about some lower. We got the Bossy, the Esposito. Let's look at the lower grade Ray Bourque, O-Pee-Chee, PSA 6. Obviously off-centered to the right. Otherwise, really strong color on this, though. The black is just laid down beautifully, as is the yellow and the green. The pink is very nice. The corners and the edges look fine to me for the grade. Like, they're not really bad. I think centering is the biggest culprit here, and it's a pretty much a brand new slab as well. As far as the serial number by PSA tells us, I think it's a nice copy for a 6 if you don't mind an off-centered copy, because the trade-off here would be in a 6 centered with dinged up corners, and this is at $28. I mean, you can't buy this raw for $28, guys, at a card show. You just can't. So I think it's nice. Josh, any comment on the Bourque?
Yeah, I'll just go back to the trade-offs, and it's where the kind of trade-off bug bites me, in that I am very distracted by the centering, but I acknowledge just about everything else on the card is kind of amazing. And so it's just something that I can't get past. But if you're not, and so many people don't have that sort of that same centering bias that I do, and in that case, it's a very nice card, very cheap, and I think somebody's going to be really happy buying it.
Agreed. All right, let's continue. A couple of Mark Messier rookies, both PSA 6s. We'll take a quick look at these, Josh, not spend too much time. Same thing as the Bourque, off-centered, beautiful color, great edges and corners on the first one, sitting at a price of $42, and this one's $43. I like the last one better. I like this one. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on, I gotta recenter myself here. Okay, here's the first one, and here's the second one. I like, oh boy. When I first started saying that, I thought I saw some tilt, and I do see some tilt in this one. It's slight counterclockwise, right? This border on the right, it gets wider as you go up, and on the left, it gets wider as you go down. On the other copy, which looks almost identical, except it's positioned a little bit higher on the cardboard, this one, it's got a bit of tilt as well, but not as much. These are a couple of PSA 6s, nice edges, nice corners, great color and print on both, although the second one, I like the color better. And I don't know if this is an issue of the image capture or it's the card itself, but look at the blue in the jersey on this one, guys. This is the second copy. And then I come to this one, and it's kind of dulled out. It's dulled out a bit. I really prefer this card, actually, now that I go back and forth. This is the one here with ends in 235 on the serial number. That is the one for $43. That's in the second position here when you're sorted by featured on Fanatics right now. So the color on this being the first one, I like less than this one. Josh, do you pick up on that, and any comments on these two?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're really close, but you're right. There's a little bit more depth and boldness in the color in the second option, and that resonates with me too.
Yeah. And you see it in his face as well. He looks much more pale on the first one and much more sort of some more saturation here on the second one. Nice copies. We have an 84 Gretzky, the base card, one of the best base sets of the 80s with the dual image on the front. PSA 8. This is weak, guys. I'm just going to say it. This is a very weak 8 in my opinion, and here is why. First of all, the centering, it jumps out at you as being off, but look at how blurry his face is here. I would want a much clearer image. I mean, it's almost like he needs to go see a dentist by the looks of this picture right here. He does not look very good. You can see it's just the registration is off. Look at this blue line coming down beneath the background navy and the black outline of the image. You see it there. You see it all across here under the word Oilers. You even see light blue on the top of the word Oilers. You see it up over here as well. This is a weak 8. To me, it's it's newly graded, but it's probably got perfect edges and corners and no surface issues. But to me, it's got print issues and centering issues. So when I say it's a weak 8, it's a weak 8 by what I like. Other people prefer corners and edges to registration. So, but it's not a card that I would want in my collection. Josh, how about you?
I totally agree with you. And again, with all these late 70s, early 80s cards, there's a lot of fine lines in them, and they can be prone to registration issues. And registration, we found it was often missed by grading companies.
Exactly. All right, let's keep on rolling here, guys. We have 23 minutes in this first half-hour window. We have a PSA 10 Peter Forsberg Upper Deck rookie sitting at $18. We have now a couple of nice Gretzky inserts from the 90s. We're going to start with the Upper Deck Heart Hopefuls Gold, numbered out of 100 in a PSA 9, Pop 5, 4 graded higher. Guys, this is a card that you look at it, you're like, well, half of it's cool. The other half is like, what's going on there? And if you weren't collecting back in the day, you might not recognize just how important this card was. This is one of the very first serially numbered inserts in Upper Deck hockey, and this is seriously chased by the guys that were collecting back then, and that's really important. I'm not a huge fan of the aesthetic of the card, but it is nonetheless an important card. We also have what is known as one of the grails of the 90s for Gretzky. Playing Days Grail 90s Gretzky. This is an extremely important card, you guys. This is the 1997 SPX Grand Finale. Now, if this was Michael Jordan, this is $50,000 plus. Easy all day long. It's Wayne Gretzky, and it's sitting at $1,975. Pop 4, 1 higher, as I said. We're going to see more action on this card, I believe. I think this card could double or triple from where it is. I don't know for sure. Josh, do you have any comp information by chance on this
one?
No,
I'll look it up real quick, though, while you're continuing to talk.
Appreciate that. It's a cool card. It's got the hologram over here, the full body shot over here, the nice gold background. It's the grand finale, guys. This card is numbered. I think it's numbered. I thought these were numbered. Maybe they're not, or they're known to be out of 50 or 100. Do you know that, Josh? Because
I think they're being known to be out of 50.
Out of 50. Sorry. That's what I thought. Look at the back even is really nice. Let's open up the back here. And there we go. Bids coming in as we're talking about it. I'm not surprised. This is a grail, guys. This card is considered a grail. People who are experts in 90s hockey inserts would put this as a top. It's for sure a top 5 90s Gretzky. It might be a top 3 to many people. It's not to me because personally, I don't love the looks of it. But and me and Josh were talking about this earlier. I don't think either of us love the looks of this card, Josh, but we recognize its significance in the hobby. Mm-hmm. Does that capture what you were saying? And do you have that any comp data yet?
Yeah, totally hit the nail on the head. It's not like a card that I would probably buy just because I don't, even though I just love that Rangers jersey that he's wearing with the Statue of Liberty in the logo. That's the best part of the card, in my opinion. So the last sale was a PSA 9 copy. It was in April for $3,654 US. Trying to see, it was this exact copy.
Okay. So when I said this could double or even triple, it could easily double. It's already made a move since I mentioned that. So yeah, it should come close to about 4,000. The exact same copy. Well, we will see. We will see where it goes. Yeah, Rob Scott confirms what Fanatics Collect says right here in the subtitle. Pop 4, 1 higher. Thanks, Rob Scott. I'm curious, Rob, if you happen to have the population data up, what are the total subs on this card? How many total times has it been submitted? That would be interesting to know as well, Rob, if you happen to still have that handy with you right now. All right. And listen, we're going to roll, but again, these are important cards, both the Heart Hopefuls. I think there's people out there right now, Josh, that are thinking, I'm going to grab both of these because maybe I don't have them yet, and they're super important cards from the 90s. What's up, Mike Double V? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right, some more cards here. Obviously, this is a card auction. We've got the 1999 Upper Deck Century Legends Collection Gretzky out of 100, Pop 1, 4 graded higher. It's a PSA 5. Now, this is not a card that I'm very familiar with, but one of my partners, Fund Your Cards. This is in their filter. This is one of their offerings on Fanatics tonight. So I wanted to take a look at it for them as well. You can see PSA 5 recently graded. I love the serial number on the front of the card. We don't see a lot of that in the 90s, Josh. That's really cool. Great image of Gretzky. It's a 5. Doesn't look like a 5 to me. I'm sure there's stuff wrong with it that we just can't see.
Sure.
I think it's overall a pretty nice card. Josh, is this a card that you looked at any closer than we are right now?
No. There's so many big ones in the auction, but it is real cool, and I love anything from the late 90s. So it's one that I would definitely look into a little bit more.
And it's got this little logo down here, the Sporting News Top 50 Players, number 1. Maybe that means number 1 of all 50, and perhaps they did the other 49 as well. That's a cool set to collect. Let's go back to the grand finale for a second, because Chris, who is also Bo Sports Cards on Instagram, says that my favorite thing about the Gretzky 97 grand finale is that it's a hologram, and when you turn the card, Gretzky winks at you. That is true. I've seen that. When you turn to the hologram, he actually winks. Thanks for pointing that out, Chris. Thanks for joining the show as well. All right, we have 2005 SP Game Used Alexander Ovechkin, the gold rookie out of 25. These are just underappreciated. I personally own a Crosby copy in a 9 as well. Mine's a tag 9 actually. This is the Ovechkin gold PSA 9. And guys, think about there is the regulars are numbered out of, what is it, $6.99, I think. The regular SP Game Used rookie, something like that.
Yeah.
The gold's only 25, guys. This is among his rarest rookie cards from 2005, and it's sitting at a measly $825 right now. Pop 4, 1 graded higher. This is a card that if you are a collector who is collecting this, I think you're a savvy collector. If this is in your purview and your wheelhouse, I just think they're awesome. And back in the day, this SP Game Used rookie, was an important rookie card of the player, whoever it was. And these golds, you just never saw them. Mm-hmm. Josh, let's talk about this Crosby, then I'll get your comments on these two. It's a PSA 10, a young gun at $2,000. I actually don't have much more to say than that. It's fun to watch them. Josh, anything on the Ovechkin or the Crosby?
Yeah, I got a quick comment on both. So again, you look at the Ovechkin, it's less than a fourth of what his Young Guns PSA 10 sells for. And when you look at the Pop, again, it was Young Guns PSA 10. It's not huge, but it's 1,249. And so this is another true rookie. If it's from the base set from 2005. And so that's it's just an awesome card. And I'm not a huge proponent of base Young Guns because usually the population's out of control. But the Crosby's one where I have a little bit of a different tune on. It's a Pop 1,198. It's got a fairly low gem rate for that. So the gem rate on it, well, it's about half. It's about 51%. But I don't think it's going to be 6,000 in the future. We're almost 20 years past the release of this set. And so this year's, both the Crosby and Ovechkin are ones that I think if you wanted base Young Guns to quote unquote invest in, that these are ones that, might actually make a little bit of sense in that regard.
I agree when it comes to the Crosby and the Ovechkin. And like you said, we're 20 years in, And there's already 5 times as many PSA 10 Bedards as there are Crosbys, and it hasn't even been out a year. So that's pretty interesting, right? Rob Scott comes through, says the total pop on the Gretzky was 5 cards, 4 9s, and 1 10. And we were talking about the grand finale. 5 submissions of the grand finale only to PSA. If Rob Scott is right, and I haven't verified, but we're gonna trust what he's saying there. And Jeff McMahon, good to see you as always. Welcome to the show. Continuing along, we have a Gordie Howe All-Star Royalty BGS 8 out of 23, sitting at $320. I have to think we're going to see some action on that. That seems low for an All-Star Royalty Gordie Howe. We have a Gretzky from UD Black, the game night ticket, the gold version. These are numbered out of 10. It's a BGS 8. The auto does great out of 10. Let's take a quick look at these. I remember when these came out. I loved these back when they first came. These are beautiful cards. The one knock against them is the autograph is in silver, and the ticket, because it's not a real ticket, but the rendition of a ticket is also in silver, so it does sort of camouflage the autograph a little bit. But overall, these are still gorgeous cards. I really enjoy them. And then we have a 2011 SB Authentic Sign of the Times. I think this is just a quad auto with Gretzky, Messier, Coffee, and Fuhr, number 10 of 10, BGS 8 at $800. 3 pretty cool autograph cards on our screen right now. Josh, why don't you tell us a few thoughts you have on these cards?
Yeah, so the Gordie Howe, that's a hard sign auto, right?
It is.
Yeah, and there's not going to be any more of those. So, that's really all you need to know about that. And at $320 right now.
They only did All-Star Royalty one time for hockey.
Yeah. I'm just saying even hard signed Howe autos, right? It's impossible.
Those two, yeah.
Since he's passed away. And so, I think 320 is a very good value for that. On the Gretzky, it's like, why didn't they use gold ink?
Yeah. Imagine if they would use gold. Gold would have been so much better. Yeah.
And then I'm really love the Sign of the Times. I think this is hard signed as well too.
No, these are stickers.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they are. They back in these days they were doing hard signed up to 3 players, and I think anything over 3 they went stickers. Still a cool card though, but I mean, listen, those autos are all still perfect. Like these are perfect autographs, just beautiful.
Yeah, to get any card with those 4 signatures on it is special in of itself.
Definitely. All right, some big cards right here, you guys. We're gonna start with the Fleer Precious Metal Gems Wayne Gretzky from 2022 Fleer Retro, the first PMGs in hockey. This is the Gretzky. This is the second rarest behind the green. It's the blue out of 50. It's a PSA 7. It's a pop 5, only 1 graded higher. Awesome card. Personally have the exact, I'm one of the other 5. I have this in a 7 as well. If anyone buys that tonight, well, we can be card bros. We can also be card bros on the essential credentials on the other end here. The BGS 9.5 Essential Credential Future Gretzky from 2012 Fleer Retro, numbered out of 34. It's a pop 2, 1 graded higher. I was saying to Josh, I think this might be my old copy. It has to be because I used to own both BGS 9.5s. If it's a pop 2, they were both mine at one time. I sold this card within the last 12 months. So I guess whoever I sold it to decided they weren't going to hold it anymore. I actually sold it on Slab Sharks, I believe. So I don't own it anymore, and I don't know who bought it. But in any event, here it is, and we're going to see how it does tonight. It's sitting at $1,825 right now. The PMG Blue is sitting at $1,300, and in the middle, we have a 2012 Fleer Retro Jambalaya Bobby Orr BGS 8.5 sitting at $175. And for some reason, and I don't really know why, Bobby Orr inserts just don't seem to get the respect that you would expect them to, but maybe it's because it is so far past his playing days, but I don't know. Josh, your thoughts on these 3 cards, please.
They're all amazing, and they're from what I consider to be the greatest hockey set ever created. This is my jam. I love everything about this set, and it fits my collecting sensibility to an absolute T.
Yeah. Josh, Dave H is wondering if Troy will do a 3rd greatest number series on the Gong Show. I know that you guys he's gone off to the weirdest hockey cards ever made. I'm guessing you're done with that. What's the scoop?
Yeah, we did 200 shows of it, and so it's up to him though. It's his playground, and so we'll see. Never put anything past Troy.
All right, we have a raw McKinnon Young Gun sitting at 165. Then we have a 2014 PMG Green Steve Yzerman. Now this says it's numbered out of 100. It's actually out of 10. This might be my old card, Josh. You'll probably remember I sold mine several months back, maybe a year ago now. And here it pops up again. And I don't remember what mine sold for. It was here on Fanatics Collect or PWCC at the time. I think mine sold for like $700-800, something like that. Not exactly sure what this will sell for, but this is a 2014 PMG Green Steve Yzerman PSA 9 Pop 2, none graded higher, sitting at $165. That's great value there. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, it's the PMGs have taken such a big hit that now you're going to get you're going to get some steals. And we were just talking today about how the new PMG is going to come out in 2 weeks, or the new Metal Universe comes out in 2 weeks. It's the first time since the 96 or 9 when the PM Metal Universe first came out that Gene McLeod is going to be back in the driver's seat designing it. And I've just got a feeling that we're going to see the interest come back to it, because if you've seen some of the designs, they're pretty amazing.
I hope you're right, because right now I've lost love for the recent PMGs, but hopefully Gene can re-spark that for me. Timepiece Esquire says that the Hart Hopefuls Gretzky with the same serial number sold on Heritage Auctions in January of 2023 for $1,860. And we are sitting here right now at $600, which is $720 out the door. And more hockey cards, please. Does confirm that the back of the Yzerman does say it's out of 100. Yes, it does, but there are only 10 of those 100 copies are green. Really important to know, and it's somewhat misleading. Not misleading, but you wouldn't know that unless you know that, and we know that. So this card, trust me when I tell you, it's out of 10, even though the back says it's out of 100. That's the same thing that happened in the original PMGs back in 97. Everyone knows that the PMG greens are out of 10, even though even the green basketball ones from 97 say that they are out of 100. And then finally, we have a 2014, the Cup, David Pastrnak RPA with a beautiful logo patch. Let's have a quick look at the auto, see how it looks. Auto's great. Number 108 at 249. Imagine if they would have waited on him and made him out of 99. This would be an absolute monster of a card, but it's much more affordable considering that it is out of 249. It's a true mint plus. You have 9.5 centering. All other subgrades are 9, and a great patch. Just a fantastic patch right there, sitting at $675. Larry, I mean, the heads up on the PMG, the title does not say PMG. And that's because, we know it as PMG, but it's known as, I think technically it's Metal Universe Green, but the hobby considers it a PMG, or at least I do. So take that for what it's worth. And it's also modeled after the original PMG. So that's why we call it that. But in any event, that's the Yzerman card. Josh, you ready to keep going?
Yeah, the only little note I want to make is on the McKinnon that it's a no pink, just so people that it's the more desired Young Guns.
No pink on the shoulder. Exactly. It's the corrected version. All right, guys. This Wayne Gretzky is an amazing card. I love it. I have a copy of it as well. I've had it for a long time. It's the 2014 Essential Credentials, the now version, numbered out of 31, 15 of 31, and it's a BGS 10 pristine. I mean, that's going to raise the eyebrows of some people and should extract extra funds from them versus if this was, a PSA 10 or a BGS 9.5. These are awesome cards. I love that it's an Oilers piece. You got die cut, foil laden cardboard on colored acetate. Just a great looking card. BGS population 1 of 1, of course, is a pristine. Only 31 copies produced. It's at $725. And then we have a couple Johnny Gaudreau cards. Of course, moment of silence. We have his trilogy rookie, PSA 10, numbered out of 399 with the autograph. The autograph looks really good. That autograph looks really good. It is a sticker, and it's a sticker where it's not laid down very nice. You see air bubbles in there. So like this is it looks more like a Band-Aid than a sticker, but the auto looks great on. And we have his PSA 10 Young Gun sitting at $90. Josh, comments over to you. We still have 10 cards to get through in the next 4 minutes. So maybe hold on. Can you hold your comments until we get through these next 10 cards and sort of remember them? All right. Austin Matthews, SP Authentic Future Watch Auto at a $9.99, guys. PSA 10 with the 10 auto. And this autograph, I'm sure it's wonderful. Yep. Beautiful autograph right there. $363 at $9.99, sitting at $4,900. There is definitely a premium for the dual 10s on the auto and the card. We have the 2018 exquisite Sidney Crosby auto patch. I love this card. I love the design and beautiful auto, grades out of 10. BGS 9, nice 3-color patch. I like that the different colors and the stitching are all on an angle versus straight up and down. I think it adds a little bit of dimension to the card. And we have a Matthew Tkachuk SP Authentic Future Watch Auto PSA 10 sitting at $280. This autograph looks great. Very nice. Continuing on quickly. Upper Deck Buyback MVP Level 3 Purple Gretzky Auto, numbered 1 of 5 in the buybacks. It's a PSA 10. The auto also is awarded a 10. Look at that beauty. That is a gorgeous silver ink auto. Not the easiest to see, but still, I don't know what else they could have done. Beautiful card. Really cool die cut there. Nice pick of Wayne right there. We have a signature rendition, Cale Makar, 2019. Is this his rookie year? I believe it's his rookie year, John. Yeah, rookie year. Makar Cup card, Pop 5, $330 right there. Very nice. And a Quentin Byfield Cup RPA out of 99, BGS 8.5. And look what he did here, guys. There's a smiley face on the card. He puts a smiley face. Come on. That's personality. Numbered 69 and $9.99, BGS 8.5, 10 auto. But it's a BGS 8.5 plus. You get 3 extra half grades on that 8.5, guys. Pretty cool right there. One of the most beautiful cards in the auction is this Ray Bourque limited logos. This is from last year, the 2021s, numbered 1 of 25. Great auto, great patch. 7.5 because of corners, but you know, these cards do have to travel. I love that card. Brock Faber, Young Gun Outburst, PSA 10 right there. Connor Bedard, PSA 10 Young Gun, 675. That's about 800 out the door right now, Josh. These things have been settling into that $800 level. We were at 1,000 for the longest time. We'll see what it ends up at tonight. And here's his extended canvas Young Gun, SG or CGC 10, sitting at $430. It's a pop one in that slab. Okay, we have 2 minutes left now before the first 30-minute window of extended bidding ends, all access extended bidding, and then we're into the 5-minute windows. I raced through these last 10 or so cards, about maybe 13 of them even, without giving Josh a chance to speak about them. So, Josh, let's start up here. I'm just going to go through them like I did for myself now, but we're going to do it with you.
Yeah, I really love the Gretzky Essential Credentials. And again, I'm going to go back to Jean McLeod, who was the, her and her husband Earl from Arena Designs were the creators of Fleer EX that in the late 90s with the Essential Credentials. I have a feeling, it's just my hunch, that later this fall, early next year, we're going to have the Fleer EX 2000 release, sort of the Lost Hockey release. It was planned before Fleer lost their NHL license and never released. That's going to come out. It's going to have Bedard Essential Credentials. What that's going to do is introduce a whole huge new set of collectors to the Essential Credentials concept. And so I'm kind of looking at these under that, like, they could be a lot more. All of them could be, high tide raises all ships, could be more desirable in a few months. And
I like that you're saying I just have a hunch that we might see a good Essential Credential set coming out. I agree with everything you just said. And we just got to bid in on this Gretzky card. I love it, guys. I do have a copy. If you're bidding on any of these, please use the Sports Cards Live affiliate code. It is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, guys. Okay, Josh, sorry. Please continue.
Next row. Go to the next row. No comments on them. Rest in peace, Johnny. And then we can go to the next row. The couple comments quick here. The Austin Matthews is that now that very new desired PSA 10 Auto 10, not a lot of them. Last one that sold was about a $1,500 premium over a regular PSA 10. So keep it. And that was for, I want to say $6,500 in April. Last sale of a regular PSA 10 was in June for about $4,300. So, there could be, that's going to set a big number already sold. So kind of there. And then we can go down to the next row. Nothing really here. If you want to go down to the next row. Oh, I got a question for you on the Bork. Now, it doesn't bother you even that the auto, I think, appears to go into on the top and the bottom. It appears to go off the bottom of the card a little bit and then into the patch window. And I'm just curious if we talked about this on our show. So I want to get your thoughts on that.
I mean, listen, would I prefer it if he contained his whole auto to the white space? Sure. Of course I'd prefer it, but there's not a lot of room there. Bork he's got a tall autograph.
Mm-hmm.
So does it bother me? No, I wouldn't say it bothers me. Is it ideal? Is it optimal? Also no. But listen, this patch is spectacular. It's an SP, limited logos are out of 50. Yep. This is out of 25. Also, this is the first year where not all limited logos were autographed. This one is. I love that. I think it's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, unlike Patrice Bergeron, who got snubbed by the Gong Show's Mount Rushmore for Boston, Raymond Bork did not get the snub, as he shouldn't have. And I mean, I love this card. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful piece, Josh. So, yeah, but basically, your question is about the auto. Again, does it bother me? No. Would I prefer it if it was contained? Of course.
And the patch kind of makes up for it because the patch is
spectacular.
Is ridiculous. And of course, I got to throw tiny bit of love to my guy, Brock Faber, who I just love the Silver Outburst, and all of them are just amazing looking cards. And then I'm going to make a guess on the last one, the bottom of the Bedard canvas there with the CGC. I just want to highlight that it's kind of cool how Fanatics now has CGC as in-house grading. You can send a rock card like this, and I think it turns around in like a day, and it's something like $9 to grade the card. So if you like CGC or you want like a good PC grading option, that I think that's something to look into.
And I know that some people didn't like the execution on him holding the young gun. I think it's pretty darn cool that he's holding his young guns here, and it makes it into the canvas. Maybe if it was a little bit closer up, we could see it better. But I think I love the concept, and I'm glad that they did that, because that's what canvas is. Canvas is known for its unique photography, imaginative photography. Okay. Well, we got through them all, Josh. We got through 42 or so cards there. Within the first 30-minute extended bidding window. We are now 3 minutes into the first 5-minute window, guys, and we've had cards sell. So let's go all the way back to the top and there we go. We're up to 2,600 on the Essential Credentials. Gretzky, 1,850 on the PMG Blue. Let's go all the way back to the top and let's resort. Let's refresh so we can push all the sold cards to the bottom, and let's see what is sold. We'll start all the way at the bottom now, and we'll see what is sold. So the Brock Faber Outburst Young Gun sells for $264. The Byfield. Now, so first of all, Timepiece Esquire says, have you noticed all the sorry, not Timepiece. Over here. Timepiece right here says, wow, none of the other Byfield Cup cards have a smiley face inscription. You know what? He did that right. Check out the serial number. It is serial numbered 69 of 99. And let's see if I have it up. So it is the serial number 69. So Quentin Byfield, I didn't even put that together when I first ran through it. I do now. And to me, that in and of itself is something that I think, a lot of people would like to own. So kudos to Byfield for having some sense of humor there. Even if it's a little bit off put, it's still pretty funny. And right, Josh? And he's got look at his autograph is really cool as well. I just want to call out his autograph. Yeah. Considering
the scribbles that these young athletes typically do, I give them kudos for that. And I do love people with a sense of humor, even dirty sense of humor.
Even dirty. Yeah. This is a card I think I would have liked to have bought. And after I saw that comment, which was already a few minutes ago, I thought, hey, maybe I'll take a stab at that. And I can't now because it's sold for $990 out the door. The Austin Matthews does a hair under $5,900 for the Dual 10 SP Authentic Future Watch Auto. Johnny Gaudreau's Young Gun does $108. The Crosby Young Gun PSA 10 does $2,400. Josh, any comments on that relative to what we've been seeing lately? I feel like it's right in there, is it not?
Yeah, give me literally 2 seconds, and I will be able
Sure.
to. Yeah, the last sale was 2,900 on September 26th, so someone got a little bit of a deal.
Oh, that's only 3 days ago. So someone did get a deal. What'd you say, 29? That's a $500 discount tonight. The Gretzky 84 base PSA 8 does $43, and the SGC 5 Topps Gretzky rookie does $780. The O-Pee-Chee PSA 6 does $3,120, while the 3 that we like the best of the O-Pee-Chees does $930. The PSA 9 Yzerman rookie O-Pee-Chee does $384, and we agree that was a pretty weak 9 overall. The Bedard Canvas CGC 10 Pop 1 does $516, while his Young Gun comes down to $810 from about that 900. We were seeing them anywhere from about 800 to 1,020 for a long time. I think 800 is their new point right now, and I feel like it'll sit there now at least for a month until a couple weeks into the new season. All right, so those are the cards that have sold so far. So out of the 40 or so we are watching, about 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 12 have sold. So we still have plenty to watch. And now let's see what prices are at. After we do this, guys, we'll go to comments. We have several to get through. The Bork is still at $260, $370 on the Makar rookie auto. Oh, wait a second. We have more. We are into the next window. So we've had more cards sell now. Gosh, this thing, it does move fast. The Gretzky buyback MVP auto does $1,050. The Kachuk SPA Future Watch auto does $336. What else is sold now? The Yzerman, look at that. The Yzerman PMG out of 10 does $234. What a price for that. $198 on the McKinnon Young Gun. The Gretzky BGS 95 Essential Credentials does $3,120. Again, I think this was my card. I sold it within the last 12 months, and I sold mine for, it was 6,000 Canadian, works out to about 4,500 US. So whoever bought that from me took a bit of a loss. The Bobby Orr Jambalaya does $216. The Quad Auto, $1,050. The Gordie Howe All-Star Royalty, $480. I think that's a great price for a special Howe auto. Peter Forsberg's PSA 10 rookie card does $27. The Gretzky Topps BGS 7.5 does $1,500. And we really like this card. I think that's a great deal, Josh, on that card. I think that's a great price. All three of these Gretzkys have sold. The Topps BGS 6.5 does $930. The 6 does $810. And the O-Pee-Chee 5 does $1,110. The PSA 4 Bossy rookie, $37. The 69 Gordie Howe does $372. And look at this. These are all sold. The second year Sawchuk does $690. The Howie Meeker rookie, $810. And the Frank King Clancy PSA 5 1923 Patterson does $5,160. Great card. Not at all surprised by the price. I could have done more. I wouldn't have been that surprised either.
That is a record.
It is a record. Only 5 nicer copies. Josh, a record by how much?
Not a lot. So this exact card sold in March of 2022. It was the last sale as well for PSA 5, and it was $4,900.
And it comes up by $260 or so. So
yeah,
comes up a little bit, about 5%. All right. Well, let's hit refresh again, because where are we now in time? 45 seconds until the next window ends. So let's see now how many cards are left. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16 cards left of the, I think it was a 42? 46. 16 of the 46 that we had selected are still alive, guys. And including the Ray Bork, which has been extended into the next window. The Makar is about to sell in 20 seconds, as is the Goodrow Trilogy. The Crosby is going to keep going. These are all still going to the next window. We need a bid on this Gretzky Century Legends here. And we need a bid on the Messier rookie, the Bork rookie. Everything else is into the next window. And here we go. We'll hit refresh one more time on these, Josh. We'll let it turn over. And we'll just confirm. Yep. Messier sells for 72. 72 on both Messiers. 44 on the Bork. The Gretzky here sells for $228. That's a Fund Your Cards card, everybody. The Gaudreau Trilogy does $93. And the Makar Rookie Year Renditions from the Cup Auto does $444. Let's hit refresh, push those all down. We are now left with 3, 6, 9, 10 cards are still alive that we are watching. The Bork, the Crosby, the Gretzky, the Pasternak, the Gretzky, the Ovechkin, the Gretzky, and the Esposito. All right, Josh, I want to go to some comments now because we are well behind. Jay-Z, welcome to the show, buddy. Good to see you. Too many Sunday night margaritas. That's okay. Timepiece Esquire said, if you notice all the Hart Hopefuls gold cards that are in circulation with a blank serial number, there's a Lemieux on eBay for $200. Why no serial number? The Gretzky has one. I don't know the answer to that. I do not know the answer to that. Does this one have serial number, or you're saying it doesn't? Got to probably open up the auction itself. Close a bunch of these windows. Does the back have a serial number? It does. 15 of 100. So replacement cards, backdoored cards, error cards. Could be any of the above. We're up to a 1,200 out the door on this one already right now. Still going. Not surprised. I think that should put a premium on the ones that have numbers. Timepiece says the Gretzky one being auctioned right now on Fanatics has one. That's what I meant. By the way, I'm bidding on the Gretzky, so don't bid on it, guys. Good luck to you, Timepiece, on that card. And thanks for clarifying. Appreciate that. Jay-Z said, Jay-Z, we did talk about the 52 Sawchuk. Yeah, it's off center, but it was well within a 7. I mean, right? It was a 7 or a 6, the Sawchuk. It's a 7. And the other thing about that card, Jay-Z, is that it's off center top to bottom, which I much prefer from side to side. So it's a beautiful card. I love the card overall. And that copy, I think, is very fair to me. Dave wanted to know, Josh, are you buying one of the Gretzky cards? Were you buying anything tonight, Josh?
No. I wish I was, though.
Same here. Penguins Chronicle says, the Crosby Exquisite used to be mine. Sold it to help raise funds for my 87-88 Lemieux first captain's game-worn jersey. Well, that's a piece to have right there. So he's talking about this card right here, sitting at $1,425 plus BP. So it's coming up on $1,700 now. Great card. And Penguins, what did you sell that for when you owned it? Timepiece set. Yeah, that's the Byfield stuff. Jake Dahl won the Gretzky. Congrats on the win, Jake. Happy for you. Jay-Z said, I've been grading all my auto rookie cards with the dual grades for about a year now. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that. Timepiece says, I wish the Gretzky Grand Finale wasn't in a Rangers jersey, though thank God it's not in a Blues, no doubt. But that's who he was playing for at the time, right? He was playing for the Rangers at the time the card came out. More Hockey Cards says, Bork's auto is chaotic. Yeah, I mean, it sort of is chaotic. It is everywhere. I love it, though. Like, I think it's just, like, it's a cool auto. It's just a cool auto. No way that's his name, he says. Well, I see the R. I see the B.
I see the B. Yeah.
I see the Q. The O-U-R is kind of all in here. Yeah, there's an E on the back end too. I don't know what this is. That looks like an L to me. Does he have? Maybe his middle name is Larry or something. Or maybe that's R.L. Bork. Maybe that's what it says. Ali says, I was looking at the Gretzky Essential Credentials, but it's a little more than I want to spend. Great looking card though. Yeah, I think. Are you talking about this one here or the Pink Future? Because the Pink Future, that's the cheapest it had sold in a long time. I can verify because I was the owner of both of them for a while. It did what? Here, I'll go back down. What did it sell for tonight? 4,500 or so? 3,120. Oh, no, I sold mine for I sold it for 4,500. Now it sells for 3,120. And maybe it'll keep coming down. Who knows? I don't think it will, but you never know. Hobby Champ says, item I'm bidding on needed a bit to extend. Didn't get one. Still extended. I did win the 02 Bobby Hall be a player patch auto at a 10, though. Congrats on that, Hobby Champs. And Jake Dahl congratulates you as well. Let's go, Jordan. Thanks for being here. Happy to have you. Larry says, I got the Nate Dogg RG, won the Nathan McKinnon Young Gun, the Raw. Very congrats. And nice to hear you did, because I'm glad, as Josh pointed out earlier, did not have the pink shoulder. Jake Dahl won his second Gretzky 80s era card. I think I've joined the Wayne Gretzky Collecting Club. Yes, you certainly have. It only takes one, in my opinion, but you're definitely there with two. Penguin says he sold it for $1,000 or so. It was raw. It grades out a 9. Now it's going to do $1,710 tonight. All right. Let's see what just sold on us now, guys. And Josh, so the Esposito is still going. The Hart Hopefuls Gretzky is still going. The Grand Finale Gretzky is still going, as is the Ovechkin rookie card out of 25 SP Game Used Gold. Look, 2,400 on the ticket UD Black auto, Josh, out of 10. That's strong. That is strong. I feel like that is a strong price on that card right there. But it's not sold. It's still going. The Gretzky PMG Blue PSA 7 sells for $3,120. The Pasternak RPA does $1,230. $1,450 still and going on this Gretzky Essential Credentials from 2014. The Crosby Exquisite does $1,710, and the Bork is still going. Let's hit refresh. And Josh, I've been going for a while. Anything you can jump in with?
Yeah, I've just been looking up some comps, and some of these inserts I think are creeping back into value territory. You look at like the Blue Gretzky PMG a couple years ago that sold for $9,300, goes for just over $3,000. In my mind, that's like a Grail car. I mean, that's like modern Gretzky Grail there, and I'm happy at $3,000. We talked about the 2012 Essential Credentials that you had too. I think that's over $18,000 during the height of the pandemic, and it had bottomed out at about 1,800 was the last sale. So it had gone down to 1/10 the price, and now we're seeing it creeping back up a little bit. And I just love it because as great as it was during the pandemic to see everything skyrocketing so much, it's so many of the great cards just got out of reach for almost any collector, and now we got our chances to get some of these cards again.
You said 1,800 on this Essential Credentials here?
Yeah, I believe so. That
must have been in a lower grade. Had to have been in a lower grade. I'll tell you guys a quick story on this card, because as I mentioned several times already tonight, I owned both BGS 95s. The first one I owned, I bought it at a Chicago National, probably in might have been as recent as 2019. I think I paid $125 for it. And then I bought another one on eBay, like within a year of that. And I think I paid $250 for that one, something like that. You can see, you can probably find that one on Card Ladder. The one I bought for $125 at National, you won't be able to find on Card Ladder. And I obviously did very well with those two cards, but those are both 9.5. So Josh, when you say whatever you said,
it was an 8.5 that sold for 1,800. So I misspoke there.
You didn't really misspeak. You did, but you didn't, because there's only 34 of them, and owning any copy is kind of like, worthwhile in my opinion. So yes, it was a different grade. So call it a misspeak.
Oh, and take this, Jeremy. The $18,100 sale on May 16th, 2022 was an 8.5.
Oh, yeah, crazy.
So that's where the 1/10 now I'm remembering is that the last sale prior to this one tonight was another 8.5 that sold for 1,800. So it was 1/10 of that price. And the last sale of a 9.5, I think, was your sale via Slab Sharks. And last November for $4,700 US.
47 US. Yeah, that was, it was 6,000. I think it was a best offer was accepted at 6,000 Canadian, which worked out to, I guess, about 47 US. And now it sells tonight for 3,120. This has to be my old card. It's a Pop 2. So somebody flipped that at a loss, unless it changed hands in between, in under a year there, which, kind of sad to see for that person, but it happens. Chuck Clement, congratulations. Won the 2018 Crosby Exquisite patch out of 10. Very, very nice card. Very happy for you. Congratulations on that. Let's see where we're at on the clock now, because a few minutes have gone by here. 20 seconds away. So these three are going to go to the next window. These three could sell right now, and the Bork. So we might be down to 3 cards left here, Josh, in the next 8 seconds right here. Let's see what happens here in the next 4 seconds. Oh, did it look like those 3 were extended? Okay. So yes, 4 cards just sold. The Rayborg limited logo sells for $336. The Gretzky BGS 10 Essential Credentials sells for $1,740. I think that's a steal, personally.
Yep.
2008 like, to me, this you flip these prices around, and if you were to flip these two prices around on this Gretzky ticket auto and this Essential Credentials, I would think the Essential Credentials sold properly, and I would still think this was overpriced by a bit. I don't know why this sold for so much tonight. I'm a little curious on that. The Ovechkin SP Game Used Gold Rookie sells for $1,200 in a PSA 9 holder. And we are left with these three cards right here. 2 90s Grail Gretzky inserts and a Phil Esposito PSA 3 rookie card, a very nice 3. Interesting night, Josh. Interesting night at the moment. As we go, more hockey cards, please. Says moral of the story: liquidate if we ever have a crazy boom again in the next 20 years.
Amen.
Yeah. Can't disagree with that. And Penguins Chronicles is picking up Lemieux's game used stick from Game 2 of the 91 Stanley Cup Final tomorrow in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. Well, another piece to add to your jersey, because it was you that sold the exquisite. So Penguins Chronicles sold that exquisite card that was purchased tonight by Chuck Clement. So Chuck, you have a little bit of provenance on your new card in the chat tonight, because Penguins Chronicles sold it, not tonight, sold it before, and whoever he sold it to or someone thereafter is the one who sold it to you tonight. So kind of nice to know. I think it's kind of neat to know a previous owner of such a cool card, Chuck.
And that I remember, must have been, so I was 14 in 1991. We couldn't get this. The Stanley Cup Finals was only on satellite dish here in the United States. So you had to have a satellite dish and then pay for it. So I remember crying in my bedroom, listening to the radio as probably that stick was destroying my Minnesota North Stars dreams of winning the Stanley Cup. So thank you for that, Penguins Chronicles.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. And here he comes back with even more provenance. He says, Chuck, I can probably track down who I got it from if you want to even know that. So, that's pretty cool. I don't know if we'll ever find out who consigned it to Fanatics here, unless that person wants to out themselves right now. That'd be cool. We would have potentially 4 previous owners somewhat documented here tonight. That would be really cool. That's a whole topic in and of itself, Josh. That's a whole episode or podcast on, previous owners and whether or not that's important to you. Some people might say, I don't care, but personally, I like that. Because all of our cards, especially, you go back to this Tony Esposito rookie card, PSA 3. I mean, who knows who owned it? The story that this card could tell is one that will never be told, but I think it's pretty cool for sure. Oh, Chuck says that it might be a Fund Your Card. I think it is a Fund Your Cards card tonight. I do think that the Crosby Exquisite is a Fund Your Cards card, meaning that somebody consolidated with Fund Your Cards. And so, because I am partners with Fund Your Cards as well, not that he would tell me, but at least we know Mark Sadov of Fund Your Cards knows who consolidated that one into him, and that person might be willing to share with us. So we could probably have 4 previous owners of that card documented now for Chuck if he was curious. And he says that right there. I think it is, Chuck. I think it is. If I actually, let's just see where we're at in the clock now. A minute left in this level. We still have the grand finale, the Hart Hopefuls, and the Esposito rookie. That is it. But let's go to the Fund Your Cards cards tonight. And it is. These are 4 cards that Fund Your Cards did consolidate and offer tonight on Fanatics Collect. The Gretzky Century Collection, the Ovechkin SP Game Used Gold, the Gordie Howe All-Star Royalty, and Chuck's new Sidney Crosby Exquisite Patch Auto, which is a card I just love. Just love. Thanks for that, Chuck. All right. 27 seconds left. 3 cards remain, and the Esposito is the only one that might sell in this, which is the second last 5-minute bidding window, all access extended bidding window. 10 seconds. Oh, it got a bid. It got a bid now. They're all extended to the next window. So we're going to go at least into the final 5-minute window, which will end at the top of the hour, which will be 8 o'clock Pacific. And then we're into the 1-minute windows after this 5-minute window ends And then these 3 cards should end pretty quick. But let's see what happens here. We are all in red on these. We likely have bidding wars going on the 2 Gretzkys. The Esposito, we'll see what happens here. Very interesting. Josh, back to this whole provenance discussion. Where do you stand? Like, is that something that you would be interested in? If you could find out, would you spend the time and effort to kind of maybe make a phone call or a few DMs to see, hey, where'd you get this from, or you don't care?
That's an interesting question. I think that if it's a card I cared about and a card that I meant a lot to me, and I just wanted to know the story behind it, especially if it's a rare card, I think that goes without saying. But yeah, I could see myself just wanting to understand its story a little bit more and how it's traveled through the hobby. Is it critical for me to know that? Probably not.
I think that's fair. And that got me thinking. I'm the same way. Like my Babe Ruth that I recently purchased that I can't stop talking about. If I had the opportunity to dive in and figure that one out, maybe, and I do have the opportunity. I bought it at the LCS, so I'm sure he would tell me who he got it from, or let's ask that guy if he minded, then I could ask that guy where he got it from. Am I going to go through and actually follow through with that? I don't know. Honestly, probably not. But if it was served up to me, I'd be really interested. I might actually do that. Now to hey, more hockey. Listen, I do have banning. I can ban you from this if you're gonna tell me you don't want to hear about my Babe Ruth card. I know you're kidding, and I appreciate it. But yeah, you're gonna have to keep hearing about my boring Ruth card. Never mind hearing about it. Let me show it to you guys. I love it so much. Here it is. Here's my boring Babe Ruth card. It's still with me all the time by my side. Still loving it. Perch asks everybody, don't forget, hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button, please. If you are bidding on cards tonight, please do use the SCL affiliate code. If you didn't and you're going to go pay for a card, please use it when you pay. It is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat. Timepiece says, Jeremy, when are you going to drop by again? Last time you were there, I ran into you in the parking lot. Good times. Are you talking about Eastridge? If you're talking about Eastridge, I go to Eastridge every couple of weeks. I pop in there. It's literally, Burbank. I hope to get there again soon. Timepiece. I don't know when I'll get to Burbank again. Hopefully for one of their upcoming shows, and I will come by there. Oh, look who's in the house. None other than my boy Mikey from Eastridge, who I bought the Mike. So now that Mike is here, who I bought the Babe Ruth from, Mike, I want to ask you a question. Like, where did the guy get the Babe Ruth from? Did you ask that question? Because guys, so Mike is my LCS. This is Mike at Eastridge. Everyone, please meet Mike from Eastridge. He's my closest LCS in town and has the best selection of singles of maybe any LCS I've been to. Well, Burbank hasn't beat, but Mike's buddies with Rob. He'll admit that too. But Mike, do you know where the guy got it from? I'm curious. Let's go to some more comments though while we're waiting for this 5-minute window to end. And Timepiece, I don't know when, but I do hope to see you there again. Even though, unfortunately, I don't remember who you are exactly, but I'm sure I will recognize you if I could put the Timepiece Esquire to the face. It's hard to remember names when you have more than one of them. We all have more than one names with our online identities. Thank you. More hockey cards. Simon, what's going on? Says I bought the Lemieux Heart Hopefuls out of 100 on Fanatics Collect Auction 4 weeks ago, and so interested to see what the Gretzky sells for. And right now, it needs a bid to get into the 1 minute windows. Otherwise, it's going to end at $11.75 plus buyer's premium. Laura says, similar to the story of the Found 79 O-Pee-Chee case. Yeah, that's an interesting story for sure. Penguin says, I think provenance matters less in cards as they all originate from the manufacturer. I think it's nice to know, but not important to authenticity. Yeah, I agree completely with what Penguin Chronicles is saying, unless, it might have been passed through a known trimmer's hands. I just think it's cool to know. It's a nice to know, but it's not like going to help sell the card in the future. That's for sure. Because unless it was owned by like a famous person, maybe, then it might be a bit different. But I completely agree with what you're saying. To me, it's just curiosity. 5 seconds on the Heart Hopefuls here, guys. No, it's the one that's going. It's the one that's going into the next window. Looks like the Grand Finale and the Esposito just sold. The Esposito does $336 and the Grand Finale sells for $4,560. So Josh, when it was at $1,900, I said it could double or triple. It doubled and then some, and it does $4,560. How do you feel about this price relative to the comps, Josh?
It's a record sale for the card, so it's a big price. They don't sell, obviously, at 50. They don't sell very often. Previous high was just over 3,700.
So this is 4560 is a record.
Yeah, previous high was 3,700.
Wow,
that's looking up both Card Ladder and through TerraPeak.
Interesting. So yeah, well, that's great to see because it is a grail type card. Now, as I said earlier, if this was Michael Jordan, it sells for 10 times this. It's $50,000, maybe even more. I don't know for sure, but like, at the peak, the Jordan would have done 100 to 150,000 probably. I think it's easily 50K now, and the Gretzky doesn't even do 5, and that's just because Jordan is sport, I guess you could say. All right, continuing with some comments here while we see what the Hart Hopefuls does, but it's up to 1475 now. Simon, how do you feel about that? There's Justin Boda's girlfriend. Love you too, Justin. Love you too. And Emma Zhang must be a lovely girl. Nice to see you, Justin, as always. Laura says to Timepiece, maybe with the opening of the new place, whatever that. Maybe I'll make it down when Burbank moves. Mike at Eastridge says, I'm not sure. He says he bought them years ago in Montana. Okay, so that's interesting. And guys, I want to say this too. If you're ever in Calgary, which is where I am, and you are going to make a visit at Eastridge, which you have to if you're a collector and you're watching the show, let me know. I'll meet you there and say hello. We can have coffee at Eastridge. Mike, you got to get a coffee. Mike, do you have a coffee machine? Do you have a Keurig or something in there? We'll have to come for coffee. Producer Louis says, when you're chasing vintage cards for your collection, I think it would be interesting to know the journey the card may have taken. That's part of the fun. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Louis. We're on the exact same page. He says, love the story they can tell. And the problem is they could, but they never do. They never do tell the stories, but I hear you. Louis, better late than never, buddy. Emma, Justin says, my girlfriend loves you too. Sorry about that, Justin. But very nice to hear. Guys, the Hart Hopefuls is now bid up to $1,675. I think when Simon spoke, it was at like, what, $1,200? It went up to like $1,475. Now $1,675. It's going to go into the next minute as well. 10 seconds left in this 1 minute window, and we'll see if it gets a bid. Let's see what happens in the next minute. Mike says, I can hook you up with coffee. So if anyone is coming to Calgary, let's meet up at Eastridge. It's literally a 10-minute drive for me, and I will definitely meet you there. Always fun to meet fellow hobbyists. All right, 50 seconds left. Let's see if we get a bid in this window on this card. Josh, what's going on through your... Oh, there's a bid up to $1,750 now, you guys. This Hart Hopefuls, and I wonder if the fact that it is serial numbered is really having a big impact on this, and who knows where this will end. Just don't know. But Josh...
Yeah, wait, and that one is 15 out of 100, correct?
I think I saw that. Yes, it is right there.
Okay, so this card holds the record for the highest selling of the Hart Hopefuls. It sold in when was it? Okay, January of 2023 for 1,860. So it's going to beat that tonight.
Oh yeah, we're up to about 21 something here now. So it's easily going to beat that. And here we go, another 1 minute window. Let's see. We have a bidding war on our hands here. Let's see if it's over or if we're going to see another bid in the next 45 or so seconds here. That would be pretty cool to see. Timepiece says, wish there were some nice Bure or Fedorov cards in the auction. Maybe next time. And there's a bid on the Hart Hopefuls.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We're up to 1775 now. Just a little mini bid, maybe a half bid coming up to 1775. So we'll see what happens. And I'm with you, Timepiece. I'd love to see some Bure. And I feel like we see lots of Bure cards, though. 1975 now. Did that just take a big jump, or
$200? Yeah,
took a big jump, didn't it? So someone, yeah. I think someone is trying to kind of say to the other guy, hey, or guys or gals, you might want to just back off now because I'm coming in strong. But we'll see. These cards don't come up, Josh. It's a Pop 5 4 graded higher. And I don't know how often we see them sell. Do you have any information on that?
Yeah, so the last sale of a Heart Hopefuls was one quick second.
2,100
wow.
now, Josh.
Yeah, it was a raw card that sold in December of 2023 for $300.
Was it
And the
numbered on
last
the back?
graded copy was June of 2023, and it sold for 1,300.
Speaking of 23, it's now at 2,300. So this thing has popped from 1,750 to 2,300 in the last 2 minutes. These guys aren't even waiting for each other. They're not just putting in a bid and then waiting for the window to end. They're bidding within the same window that the other guy's bidding in, which is somewhat of a strategy. I usually take the opposite strategy and kind of, I'll wait until I'll try and frustrate my opponent in a bidding war, and I will try and bid in the last 3 seconds. When they think they're about to have it, I'll put in a bid at the very end and try and scare them off that way. These guys are just coming out swinging. We're at 2,300 now. Oh boy, really curious to see what's going to happen here. Let's see what's coming along in the comments. So Simon says it's interesting that the Heart Hopefuls and the grand finale are both setting records. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Laura said in past relic issues of Beckett, there were often stories referring to unique cards, wrong names on cards, which I followed through on. Do I know where they are now? Yeah, very interesting. And Timepiece says that Burbank has a Gretzky PSA 10 Heart Hopefuls on their website. Makes me wonder, is it also listed on Fanatics Collect? Because Burbank is in the process of moving, like 40 million cards over here to Fanatics Collect. Guys, 8 seconds left on the Heart Hopefuls now. Let's see if someone's taking my strategy. I'm going to try and frustrate the opponent here. Doesn't look like it. Looks like 2,300 was going to be 2760 final. Yep, 2760 final takes it home. And there it is, Josh. I mean, really impressive price on the Heart Hopefuls. I'm not as impressed on the grand finale, which is funny because they're both out of 100. But I was, or wait, no, we think the
grand finale is out of 50.
Out of 50. So actually makes a lot of sense. But to me, I hear more Gretzky like 90s Gretzky collectors talking about the grand finale than I do the Heart Hopefuls. I've never heard someone say that the Heart Hopefuls is the top 3 90s Gretzky, but I hear many of them say that the grand finale is. So I'm not as impressed on the grand finale as I am on the Heart Hopefuls. I think they're both great. And Timepiece says the one on Burbank says it does not have the serial number on the back. And to me, that's a deal breaker. Like, I don't want that card. I only want the one with the serial number on the back. And he says it's $1,500 for a PSA 10 without the serial number. I would rather spend double that with the serial number than without, because it's just got some weird story to it there. So interesting stuff. Wow, what a night, Josh.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick sort by highest price now on these and just look at some of these cards, because we had some big Gretzky's tonight, you guys. And look at that. The top 2 cards aren't even Gretzky's. Austin Matthews steals the show tonight with $5,900 on the SPA Future Watch Auto with the PSA 10 on the card and the auto. The King Clancy PSA 5 does $5,160. The grand finale Gretzky $4,560.
Hey Jeremy, I got a quick question on the grand finale that I just in case you know. So there's a gold, like which is much more common. Do you know the difference? Like how would if somebody saw this raw, how they would tell the difference between a grand finale and a gold?
I don't know. I personally would need to see them side by side to know the difference. It might be that this is more gold than the other gold. Like there's
I
gold
think the hologram
places.
part might be gold in the case of, I don't know, maybe something in the chat knows.
That might be it. That might be that the hologram background is gold versus silver. I think that might be it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be it. Yeah, Timepiece here says the gold doesn't have gold on the photo. So maybe the left side, actually. I'm not sure which side.
No, it does have gold, because I'm looking at a gold right now.
So Timepiece, are you talking about he says correct. The hologram is gold on the grand finale. Gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
That rings a bell.
Thank you.
I have heard that before, but couldn't quite recall that in time. The PSA 6 O-Pee-Chee Gretzky does $3,120. The PMG Blue out of 50 from 2012. And a 7 does $3,120. Oh, look at all 3 cards here do $3,120. Anyone else do 3120? No. And the Gretzky Essential Credentials Future does 3,120, 2880 on the Gretzky UD Black Ticket, 2760 on the Hart Hopefuls, 2400 on the Crosby Young Gun, and the Gretzky Essential Credentials from 2014 does $1,740 in a BGS 10 holder, as does 1710 on the Crosby Exquisite Patch Auto, and the Topps BGS 7.5 Gretzky Rookie does $1,500. Wow. Interesting stuff all around here tonight, Josh. That was a great auction, guys. Heads up, we will not be doing a show next Sunday or the Sunday after. Next Sunday, I will be at the Montreal Expo, and the Sunday after at the Van City Card Show. I'll actually be on airplane rides both times when these auctions are ending. But let's just take a second here, Josh, and have a quick look at next Sunday's auction and see what hockey cards are available. 216. So we had 182 tonight. We're up to 216 next week. As you can see, as hockey season is approaching, these auctions. Oh, sorry, you can't see. I don't have my screen shared. There we go. As you can see, 216 cards next week and 182 tonight. Hockey season coming closer. More and more cards are coming onto the platform. And look at this next week. A Gretzky rookie PSA 7 is at 2,600. The O-Pee-Chee Platinum Tracks Connor McDavid rookie auto at a 125 is at 950 already. Connor McDavid Future Watch auto BGS 9 is at $900. We have the Atomic Refractor PSA 10. I mean, this card should do at least $4,000, probably more. This could do even 5 to 6 to 7, right? I mean, I think do you know what the last 10 did, Josh? I feel like almost $6,000, maybe something like that.
I'll look it up.
Good question, Timepiece. I know I've heard the answer to that too. I don't remember what it was. I think it was the last time they were going to do was it the last time they were doing holograms maybe or something like that, or planning to? There was a pretty cool, I think you see it right here, because it was the last time Upper Deck said they were going to use, that was a rhetorical question. I didn't realize it. So he's answering his own question. Do you know why it was called the grand finale? Because it was the last time Upper Deck said they were going to use the hologram tech on cards. Yeah, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Timepiece Esquire. Did you find?
Oops, they've used it like a million times since then. But the 7,000, the only time a PSA 10 is ever sold.
And it's a pop 5, so it's not like it's, there's only 1 or 2 of them. We have another PSA 3 O-Pee-Chee. Let's have a look at that one. Since we're not here next week, let's have a look at that one. It's decent. It's decent. It's a 3. It's got registration issues. It's got corner issues, but the centering is very nice. Not bad. Not a bad copy. I think it's a fair 3. We have the Upper Deck Premier Collection McDavid RPA sitting at $360. PSA 8. Only one graded higher. There's a Gretzky Duo View. We have some hologram technology and an auto. We have the McDavid Black Diamond Quad Diamond out of 99. That's a rookie card. Bedard Debut Achievement Auto out of 25 copies only, Pop 9. Top 6 Gretzky, BGS 9.5 Patrick Waugh, O-Pee-Chee rookie. Wyatt Johnson, Young Gun Canvas. This is a great card here. The Fleer Showcase, the Violet Austin Matthews. These are really nice, actually. This image doesn't really make it look as nice as it is. This is there's really nice visual effects going on this card. This is a lot. I can just tell you, the card's a lot nicer than it looks here, in my opinion. A nice Al McInnes PSA 9 rookie card. Early Gretzky Auto 2002. Platinum Gold out of 69 and a PSA 9. With the coating, that's going to go for some, probably, I don't know what, but more than that. And so on and so forth. A whole bunch of 61 Parkies. Jake Dahl loves the 61 Parker. I love the colors too, with the logos in the background. Producer Louis, Fleer Ultra for the win. Love them. I'm with you, Louis. I think your partner, Josh, or maybe your boss, since you're a producer, loves them as well. I know. I kid. It's a team. It's a team effort. There's an authentic
teamwork.
Rookie card. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I just said teamwork for the dream work, man. It makes the dream work.
Makes the dream work. Exactly. A nice sign of the times, Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey Auto. Let's see how that auto looks. Auto's not so great. It's a graded at 10, but that is not a 10 auto, guys, at all. That thing is fading and it's gone dark and everything. It's kind of a misnomer. It's gone dark, but it's faded. But that's how it goes. They go dark and then they fade. So there we have it. Next week's auction has some bangers in it as well. Specifically, I would have to say that Atomic Refractor, perhaps this Gretzky totally certified platinum gold right there. The Austin Matthews is a banger right there. I love that card. And lots of nice McDavids in the auction as well. And then the Trax McDavid Platinum is a beast as well. Josh, tell us what you think about the Trax card.
It's just a big card. And I don't love platinum autos. I love platinum regulars a little bit better, but I expect this one to go for, pretty penny.
Definitely. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Josh, you got an episode launching tonight?
3 a.m. Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Anything special we can look forward to?
I've forgotten already earlier today. Oh, we did the over-unders again for the 2024-25 preview. That's where we did 12 questions, got like 4,000 votes on Instagram asking people if things are overrated or underrated. And it's always really interesting to see what the hobby thinks about kind of key topics.
The hobby that the sector of the hobby that answered your that's on IG and those Instagram polls are indicative, but not the final answer on many things, of course. Good stuff. All right, everybody, thank you for joining. This was a fun one. So we are, as I mentioned earlier, we are not going to be doing a show on the 5th of October or the 12th. But by the time we come back on the 19th, hockey season will be well underway. We'll have lots to talk about. Steve Audio wants to know, do you have a Mount Rushmore segment tonight, Josh, coming up?
LA Kings. Yeah.
LA Kings. Boy. Okay. I got to take a guess here.
All right. Take a guess.
I'm curious if Gretzky gets on there, or if you relegate, can a player make more than one team's Mount Rushmore is my question.
Yes. We look at everything specific to that team. So for Wayne Gretzky to be on there, we would only look at the years he played for the LA Kings and how that compares to every other player. Same thing with like a guy like Marcel Dion, who played like 12 of his 18 seasons in LA.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be hard not to have Dion on there, even though he's in the hobby, but his hobby love isn't that strong. So I don't know if he makes it. I think Luc Robitaille is kind of the same, but how do you not have Luc Robitaille? I think Anze Kopitar kind of has to be there. Drew Doughty would probably be a consideration. I don't know if he makes it. Gretzky's on it for sure. I think Kopitar is a slam dunk. Rob Blake maybe was considered. And then really does Marcel Dion make it? Does Luc Robitaille? I think they should. I think, and it's hard because it's hobby, not on ice performance, but I think it's Dion, Gretzky, Robitaille, Kopitar. I can't think of anyone who would supplant those guys. Did I get any of them right, Josh? You don't have to. I know you don't want to give it away, but can you tell me? Did I go?
You got some of you got at least some of them right. You got at least one of them right.
I got it. And by saying right, that just means that I agreed with you. Maybe I'm right, and maybe I'm the one that's right, and we'll see how many you get right. But listen, it's your Mount Rushmore, so and it's your podcast, so I'm looking forward to seeing what
I will say about this one is it was a lot easier than Boston.
Oh yeah, I mean I watched the Boston. I read the comments on the pod, and I do. So you had Orr, Bork, Esposito, and Pasternak. That's what you chose. And I'm in the Bergeron camp for sure. Yep. I think he gets a ton of love. And even, Bork and Orr, I can't disagree with them. Even Esposito, I mean, yes, he's an all-time great, but does he get the love? So I do not envy you on that one. I don't think you could have. I don't think there's a right answer. I just don't think there's a right answer to Boston. We'll see what I think about LA. And I'm not disagreeing with putting Pasternak on there either. I just think I would have gone Bergeron somewhere there, but it's tough.
Yeah,
Mark
it was really
Payne-
tough because of the hobby element. It makes it's like you think it's not as big of a wrinkle, but it really is, because when you look at like on a hockey Mount Rushmore, there's no chance David Pastrnak goes ahead of Patrice Bergeron. None. Zero. But a hobby Mount Rushmore, it's a lot more cloudy.
Yeah. And I heard like even Phil was talking about Chara. You had some people talking about Tim Thomas, and then right here, Jake Dahl talks about Eddie Shore. And I mean, Eddie Shore is on the all-time Boston Mount Rushmore. I think he's on there for sure. Like, I don't know, him or Bork, maybe Esposito. That's it. Like, no one else even touches it after for hockey. But for hobby, Eddie Shore just doesn't make the cut. And
there's an inherent issue when doing a hobby Mount Rushmore, that there's going to be a natural bias to more modern players because the hobby's more popular than it was in 1930.
And the players have more cards.
And they have more cards. And so they're more chased. There's more awareness. And so it does kind of skew a little bit in favor of the more modern guys, where, yeah, again, you go to a hockey Mount Rushmore and there's no chance David Pastrnak is ahead of Eddie Shore.
Yeah. Ali says Dave Taylor. Yeah, Dave Taylor, Charlie Simmer. I mean, there are other LA Kings that you
Jonathan Quick, Butch Goring.
Jonathan Quick. I mean, he's got 2 cups with them, doesn't he? Like you could Jonathan Quick could be considered as well. It's not easy what you're doing. And it's almost too bad that the actual Mount Rushmore only has 4 presidents on it. It's too bad that there's not 5 or even 6. They already did Montreal. They did Montreal.
Yeah, we forgot about George Vezina. That was the best.
And he has hobby love. So who was?
We just forgot about him.
Montreal was Maurice Richard, Jacques Plante, Jean Beliveau, and Guy Lafleur.
Oh boy, I think we did Louis Help.
Louis Help. Who do we do for Montreal?
Well, I think we did Patrick Waugh.
Oh yeah, I mean, how do you not have Patrick Waugh in there?
And then Maurice Richard, Guy Lafleur, and Beliveau.
Yeah. These aren't easy to do. You're gonna have, but you know what? It's great for engagement. It's great for discussion, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's all in fun. I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
Fun, and it's not like it's official. This is. And it's not like it's the whole Gong Show. This is the Josh Matt, because these are your Troy. Are you consulting with Troy on this, or is it really your project?
That's too many cooks. I just, they can make fun of me if they disagree. Too many cooks in the kitchen, and it would make it too tough to do. So
Louis off the clock. He's not helping out.
Yeah.
Yeah, more Ken Dryden, another one. Like how?
Well,
there's only
the
room
Canadians
for 4.
can have a
goalie Mount Rushmore.
They would have probably the strongest. If you did the Mount Rushmore of like goalies, it would be Plante, Dryden, Waugh, and who am I forgetting?
Vezina or Price or Hainsworth.
Yeah, Vezina. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's lots there, right? Yeah, Plante. Larry says the Mount Rushmore of Teddy Roosevelt wasn't even a top 4 president. Troy would pick all goalies, says
True.
Mark. He's probably right about that. Yeah, I mean, you can't win, right? Like Steve calls out Rob Blake for the LA Kings. Yeah, I mean, Rob Blake, he's an all-time LA King for sure. Yeah, we'll see. I have a feeling you don't have Kopitar on there, but then at the same time, I feel like if you have Pastrnak, how do you not have Kopitar? So we'll see what you come up with.
I'm trying to do my poker face here, Jeremy.
No, don't tell me. I want to listen. Don't. This is not a Fanatics Collect show on SCL. This is a Gong Show thing. So you leave it for everybody. They got to go watch the Gong Show or listen to the Gong Show to find out. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. Josh, thanks as always. Everybody, again, a 2-week break from this show. We will be back 3 Sundays from now. If you are going to bid on cards next week, the week after on Fanatics Collect, please do consider using the SCL affiliate code. It is in the description for this episode and all of these episodes, so you can find it if you would like. I'd greatly appreciate it. It definitely does help me continue to make all this content, and gratefully appreciate that. Josh, thank you as always. Chat, you guys were awesome tonight. As always, Emma, good to see you as always. Even though I know you're not exactly Emma. Justin, good to see you as well, buddy. Guys, this episode of the Fanatics Collect Weekly Hockey Auction Ending Watch Party for September the 29th, 2024 is now over. Bada boom. Bada boom. Bada boom.